Okay, so let's start. Maybe just if you can give me a small sign if you are able to hear me fine. Just a small thumbs up, maybe. Okay. Okay, so let's start with the webinar for today. My name is Diane. I'm the Copilot Specialist at IT Cloud, and today we have a special webinar on to introduce if your client, so to check if your client he will be ready to adopt the Copilot, and maybe we will put improvement on Copilot readiness and assessment. So we have to understand together the importance of for preparing a client to use Copilot, and we are here to give him a kind of a kind of template if he need to adopt Copilot at his company. So let's start by this. As I mentioned, so today it's a special webinar about Copilot deployment and adoption accelerator. Uh, the table of the content is going to be about different as you see about different categories here. So we'll start by getting started with Copilot. We'll talk about how Copilot he can give client and many companies like productivity and encourage people to save cost. And then we will talk about Copilot deployment and adoption accelerator summary. So then we will talk about preparing for the engagement, a deep dive on each phase, and I will provide you some resources. There is many resources in this presentation today. I will send you the presentation by the end of the day. So just to give you many link, they are Microsoft links, so you are able to use it, and maybe there is many templates that you are able to use it with your clients. Okay, so let's start. Let's talk a little bit about Copilot just to give you a kind of small introduction. So Copilot, here we will cover how to access securely across all the application. We highlight the seamless integration of sales insight into Microsoft application and the customization options available through Copilot Studio. So now Copilot Studio it's become like the star of how to build a agent, how to build how to build simple agent, and how to build personalized or customized agent. So that's why honestly it's become like a start. We need absolutely to talk about it. So Copilot Studio and Copilot of Sales. So that's why we need you guys to discuss with your client about the benefits such as increase the productivity, improve the data protection, which are very vital for organization looking to innovate responsibility. So Copilot and the different Microsoft 365 application, Copilot Studio for agent to build agent, and Copilot for sales. And sure, one more time. So if we want to talk about the benefits, so Copilot is here to increase productivity and creativity, reduce manual repetitive effort. So like this, people they have more time to focus on what is the valuable judgment. I mean the human judgments. So no need to repeat many steps. So everything related to repetitive steps is going to be done by the AI, and we need to give them a secure fill with commercial data protection and responsible AI. So maybe there is many questions that we can let our client to ask themselves. What task to encounter in daily work, and what are the impact? What are the different applications that I have difficult, and how can Copilot he can help me with this application, for example? And how do you find help? So how client they are able to find this kind of help? So let's go with the next slide. So let's now, after this question, let's now let the client to define his success. So let's define what is the success for them, and I will give you right away. So a kind of maybe ideas or of success. So over the last 18 months, as we introduced Copilot, we have been very focused on personal productivity. And the way we think about this is what we have been building Copilot to be a personal assistant, essentially to help you guys, for example, maybe to save half an hour per day. Sometimes it can be like for a few hours, but the total during a month, it's going to be between 10 and 15 hours per month. So, and the job of that you get done every day, maybe no matter what kind of job that you are doing. But now we are investing in a very significant way in helping companies and organizations to take the capabilities of Copilot and implement them in very measurable ways into their business to drive revenue and to cut costs essentially. So in the other word, tapping into the full value of the AI to increase value, optimizing cost, and improve employee well-being. So this is what we are trying to do now. And from our research, a new powered user persona it's emerging. So maybe it's something that you realize with your client, because there is client they never use the AI, but we have other client they are using the AI every day, and even maybe they have their proper way to use it. So if we are doing a kind of comparison and if we are doing some research, we can see that there is many person that they are able to save over than 10 hours per month. So 90% of power users saying they are their workload more manageable now. They can boost their creativity and help them to focus on more important work, makes work more enjoyable. So we have now like a power user emerges, and they are able to save like more than 10 hours per month. Let's go to the next slide. So what makes the powered user different? They can see the AI as a whole new way to do their job, and they are more like to frequently to do this, as we see here. So for example, bookend their day with AI, using the AI to start their day and get ready for the next one. Experiment with the different ways for using AI, redesign the workflow. Sometimes people they are using workflow, for example, especially in SharePoint and the OneDrive and their email, just to automatize. I mean, some actions. For example, if I need like this email, it's gonna be save it right away to my OneDrive. It's if it's sent by a special person. So this kind of action, it's named it workflow. So now people, what they are trying to do, it's maybe to use the Copilot agent to perform their workflow. So they are trying to find a way to use this kind of agent to put like their workflow better, or maybe to put it like to improve it, to and on other word, they will stop to use Power Automate, for example, for the next actions. So this is an idea, maybe we need to discuss it, but it's something that it's some question that you are able to, that maybe it's good you will receive it from your client. Otherwise, client, they can use AI to analyze information, to interact with customers, to design visual content, and to keep trying if they don't get the perfect response. So that's why sometimes we always ask to people or to employees to still to do their conversation with AI. So if I ask my question from the first time and if my prompt it's not very good, so maybe AI, the Copilot, he will not give me the right answer right away, but if I still asking him many questions, I mean to continue to ask him question with more details, he will be fine to give me the right expectation. Okay, so let's go now to the next slide. So if I do this in more structure and more individual value, we can see here that for every organization, for every company, we can like summarize these priorities in 3 different columns. So as you see, the content generation, so time saved per day, faster to do the first draft of the email, presentation, and document, overall satisfaction, active users. The second column, it's more for personal productivity. Always we are talking about the time saved per day, uh, easy for of content summarize and searches. For example, one more time, if we are talking about emails, many emails, here Copilot is able to summarize like few emails from the same person, or like 2 presentation that I did like earlier and I need to summarize it, or maybe even to do it to do the translation. He can do it like right away in few minutes. Um, the same thing for documents, for same thing for chat. So documents, just to let you know that Copilot is able to do a comparison between 5 documents at the same time and give you a table for this comparison. So exactly the same thing here, overall satisfaction, active users, and the last column, it's especially about meetings. So during a meeting, Copilot is able to summarize this meeting to give you the important point. So to give you like what it was discussed during the meeting, and just to let you know, even if you were absent on this meeting, for example, and you are available by the end of the day, so you can go back to the meeting and check what it was taken by the AI. So you can find everything that you missed earlier during the meeting. And as you see, so Copilot, he can increase the collaboration on meeting and active users too. Okay, so we need you guys to discuss with your customer about maybe the priorities and to identify which are the most important priorities for your customers. If I do a kind of general understanding value for business, we can see one more time here we have like 3 priorities. And the first one is talking about increase the business growth and improve customer experience. The second one is to optimize the workflow and business processes. And the third one, the last one, so it's to boost the productivity and improve employee experience. So in general, for all companies, this is going to be the 3 goals to use Copilot and to adopt Copilot in their business. So if I say this in different word, AI is here to do a kind of transformation, is shifting the focus of work towards more complex tasks that requires human judgment. So everything gonna be like repeating actions. Everything can be like done very quickly and very like easily. It's gonna be done by the AI, and you guys, you will do like the action need human judgment. So AI or Copilot is here to do the repetitive and manual actions, and it's gonna let us to focus on human judgment actions. So when you look at this, fundamentally, it's clear that AI transformation is not just about technology, it's about the organization ability and desire to increase revenue, optimize the cost, and employees thrive. So it's most important increase employee well-being, because like this employee, they will be more productive in the future. So now maybe your client, he will ask you where I can start. So where do we start? We need to discuss with customer which function they would want to focus on during the engagement. So customer service is the one of the most company have interest in. So here I have the customer service and it's between the most important thing. Almost everyone has a customer facing kind of support or service angle that they need to optimize. Sales being next because it's a revenue generating function. So as we see, we have the sales part here, and people are always interested in how they can help their sellers to be more efficient. Next, we have the marketing, where showing marketing employees how to use the out of the box capabilities can really so increase their ability to get their job done. It's important to just think of them as kind of the highest value. And the most frequently mentioned here, or frequently what it was mentioned here, functions that people want to dig into. So this is how we can start. And honestly, it's something that you can present it to your client. So customer service, sales, marketing, and then we can go by the other department or other angle of company like finance, HR, and legal. Just let me give you a kind of small example for HR, because honestly, you can give it to your client. For people who's working in HR, and especially for recruiter, they are able now with Copilot to provide to Copilot just 5 resume of 5 different candidates and the job description. And just to let you know that Copilot, he can like answer back in few minutes, even not few minutes, few seconds, with a table of comparison for the file candidate if you give him the job description. So he will give you a kind of table with a comparison for the 5 candidate, and he will let you know which candidate is the best one for this job description. Okay, so one more time, we need to review the key processes outlined on the slide, as you see. So, and have a conversation with your customer to understand which processes your customer would like to focus on during the engagement. As you can see here, so that we have identified some key processes that each of these functions perform. Maybe there are other processes that are more different to you or more important to your customer. That's okay. But the list of the hero processes here give you a good starting point, and it can allows you to talk to your customer in a more comprehensive way. So under uh, every SVC category, we have many key point, and you can maybe use it and or engage it to with your client. Let me go to the next slide. And this one is most important. Honestly, it's more important than the first slide, because here with your client, you can discuss about the KPI. And what I mean by KPI, it's as you see, so the capabilities of your client to be better, or to be more productive with using AI. So if you discuss with your customer about KPI and understand which KPI are important to your customer, so you need to understand, this is your first step you need to understand. And especially now it's based on Copilot agent, because as I mentioned before, Copilot agent, it's personalized, or it's like customize. We can customize the Copilot agent for every work, for every company, for every department, and even for every like team. So in that case, your customer, they are able like to enjoy, or maybe to enjoy like on the best, for the best from AI. In addition to this process, we can identify the clear KPI that your business leaders care about and need to manage effectively. So for example, your customer service team likely like measure success by time to resolution. Your sales team track revenue per lead, and your marketing team looks at this lead conversation rate. That's why Microsoft Copilot enable function-specific AI solution so that the exact requirement and metric of your business can be addressed. Because Copilot goes beyond generic AI solution, so you can unlock opportunities to increase value and reduce cost across the whole business. Okay, so we talked about KPI, and now let's go and check more. If I go back and just give you again like a small summarize of the 3 priorities for every company. So to increase the business growth and improve the customer experience, optimize the workflow and business processes, and finally to boost the productivity and improve employee experience. Okay, so if we define a kind of success, but if we define, like I have a summary to define this success here, and it's something honestly that you can present it to your customers. So this is an activity as you see here, and during the engagement, you can, with your customer, sure, you can completing a kind this information. What you have for each of this, we need to ensure we know how the data is being captured and then how it will be presented. So for quantitative, you obtain the information from Copilot dashboard. So as you see, I have quantitative KPI and I have qualitative KPI. And this kind of value, you are able to obtain it from Copilot dashboard. So Copilot dashboard, he can provide you this kind of data, but you need to take about 28 days before to get this kind of data. So your client, he has to use it for 28 days. After the 28 days, he can get this kind of data. If not, so you will be based on this number for survey response that is potentially to extrapolate the result. So for the survey response, if for example I have 1,000 employee, they are using Copilot and only 20% of them response, unfortunately, we will take only the 20% response and not the usage of the whole people. Let's now maybe talk about the qualitative one. So as you see, I have here the qualitative one. So you are doing the leverage for the business value calculator to calculate the cost saving. And especially when we are talking about the ROI, the payback, overall time saved from the survey question, perception of increase in well-being. This one is the survey, and the satisfaction level, this being the NPS score from the survey. So the default light gray value and this to give suggestion rather than starting from a blank space. The time saving of half an hour per day is determined from Microsoft Trend Index. So one more time, you need to give to your client the quantitative KPI and show him after 28 days what Copilot he's able to provide from the dashboard, and the qualitative KPI and show him what, how, for example, what it was done as cost saving, or maybe Copilot Business Value Insight, or maybe what other different benefit it was generated by Copilot. As you see, we have 32 minutes per days here per meeting. So this is an important table, and I think it's very good idea to present it to your customer. Keep it in mind, you need 28 days for the Copilot dashboard to show the usage date. And this is maybe like just to give you an idea, this is maybe an idea to about what your client he will see. So he's able to check the gain visibility into Copilot eligibility, licensing, and activation status. The adoption tab understand how people are using Copilot across the different application. For example, if I have somebody who's using Copilot more in Teams comparing to Outlook, so I'm able to see it here. If I have like 10 employees at my place and they are using like Copilot more with Teams comparing like to PowerPoint to doing presentation. So all this data I'm able to check it after 28 days under the adoption tab. And the last tab, it's small to explore the feedback of for every employee. So sometimes people, they are using maybe Copilot in Excel, and for some features, they are not available. So employees, they will give them their feedback. And this tab, it's based on the feedback employees. So as you see, Copilot provide in their day-to-day activities. Okay. Okay. So now, if you will give some advice to your client, and as you see, you wanted to give him like a kind of template with the different steps, you can provide him this template with the first step, the second. I have 4 steps here. So just to give him a kind of engagement session, to be like more clear. So as you see, the first steps, it's how to be ready, how to get ready, how to onboard and engage, how to deliver impact, and how to extend and optimize. So we will check together every checklist in the next few slides. Let's start by the Copilot deployment and adoption accelerator summary. And as we talked earlier, so the first step is going to be to be get ready. So this one, it's we have an objective here to remediate technical security and governance concern, engage and train champion. With the help of champion, activate a set of user cohorts with fundamental and functional scenarios. Some outcomes, they are important to validate the business value of AI, activate the champion community, and achieve a high user adoption of Microsoft 365 Copilot scenarios. Okay, so let's start by that to set the activities to accelerate deployment and adoption. So one more time, this is only a small reminder about the different steps. And before to go to these steps, let me just give you this template, or maybe this slide. It's about how to request a customer trial, because for every customer, before to even to buy a Copilot maybe package, it's you can do something for your customer. So you can like request a customer trial, and I have here the different small steps to nominate a customer, to engage a customer, and submit this trial. And I provide here in this slide the link where you are able to find this trial guide. So you are able maybe to fill all information about your customer, and then you can check if your customer is eligible or not eligible. And during the customer engagement, even you can check, for example, Copilot Studio, it's going to be activated, or Microsoft Viva Insight trial, they will be there or not. And even you can check if it's fine for E3 or E5 compliance. So if I go to the next slide, here you can check what kind of instructions that you need to check, and what are the instructions to activate the trial. Because as we mentioned before, partners, they will get this kind of answer if your client or if your customer he is eligible. And this is when your client, he's not eligible. And then you can check maybe if you can do other way of or to find other way with Microsoft to get like a trial plan for your customer. Okay, so let's go to the next step. It's about to prepare for your engagement, Copilot Deployment and Adoption Accelerator. Just to give you a small advice, it's a very good idea for partners to get some certification requirement and some technical skill requirement, as you see. And even I add on the slide the two links where you are able to find like a small, maybe small courses or small material. You can use it with your customer, and it's special for the partner. So Copilot partner, as you see, and even some small DAG for adoption, and that you can present it to your client. So one more time, a very small test was a very small certification special for partner. You are able you are able to find it on this link, and maybe you can enjoy it. Especially now, many people they are asking about Copilot Studio Agent Builder and Copilot Studio. So especially when I'm talking about Copilot Studio, people sometimes they are not very technical and they are not very comfortable how to build the agent. So just to let you know, if you click on this link, for example, you can go there and you can check how to build the agent, and even you can play with it. So you can yourself, you can go there, click on it, and you can start to build your first agent in Copilot Studio. Okay, so one more thing that you can provide to your customer, it's a kind of timeline, as you see. So it's a planning the engagement like with a timeline. So it's very quick timeline. It's suggested timeline, as you see, 4 weeks for partner with customer to complete the vision and value, or something like equivalent engagement for data security engagement, for example. 2 weeks to review the out of the data security engagement, 1 week to review the output of the vision and value, 1 week for prepare for the pre-engagement kickoff, and before this, so at the go live, we can start the engagement. It's only a kind of suggested timeline, but sure, it can be different from a company to another one. It can be different depending on what kind of client you have. So it's something that can be built with the client and you guys if you are implicated. One more example here, just about the template. So as you see here, we talked more like by week, but here we will talk more by hours. So how to get started for example, for starting, just for preparation, presentation, and planning and engagement, it can take like about 40 hours to be ready to the core team kickoff and to confirm the stakeholder. And the other thing, it can take 10 hours. Onboarding and engagement, like more than 200 hours and 180, and the deliver impact like many other hours. So just to let you know, it's like an example of large engagement effort. It's given here to you to align, to give you like more ideas and to align better your client. Okay, and here we can see some recommendation. Partner and customer team stakeholder. As you see, I have a column for partner, I column for customers. For partner, maybe like one more time, some suggestion like a project manager, consultant and architect, training, adoption, change, management expert. For customer, like executive project sponsor, it's very important to have somebody to sponsor them. Program manager, training lead, communication lead, community manager, IT lead, person impacted by the high value scenarios. So many small ideas for customer. I can continue with the executive sponsor maybe. So just to give you an idea what executive sponsor has to do, he will be here to help the project team to identify and prioritize their top business needs, to play a role in communication, actively participating and ensure the Copilot capabilities, promote the enabling program, for example, and maybe he can help them to lead and participate in the company AI council and many other roles. So we have an executive sponsor, a change lead or program manager, as you mentioned, training lead. So it's very important to them to have a training lead because they need a kind of champion team. He will be there to help them to adopt Copilot, and especially when they need to coach the different user to use Copilot. So training lead, he will be here so to help them to change management approach, to introduce the new technology, managing training content, updates, and maybe help the localization for the organization. IT specialist, and especially when they need to integrate Copilot and the many agent and Copilot Studio with a different application. Communication lead, like he's familiar with Copilot and who will be here to help them on the different communication, especially when they have a new features in Copilot, to use Copilot with a different application. HR lead, ensure community manager, champion, as we mentioned before. So champion, it's very important to have a champion, small champion teams. He will be here to help users and to answer to the different question of users. So if I would like kind of summarize, the core team need a kind of executive sponsor, change manager, training manager, communication manager, HR manager, community manager, but we need to local co-driver champion, and it's very important to have a champion team, or maybe it can be like for 2 or 3 person, champion, a champion team, including 2 or 3 person, and they can be here to help users, especially on the first time, and coach these users when they have questions. This one, it's kind of table that you can provide it to your customer, especially when they are starting to adopt Copilot. So for example, to identify the team members, who are the sponsor executive, who are the champions, who are like the training lead, who are the different the IT specialist, the communication specialist, and the other person. And if I go more than details, they can, so for example, put on this table who are the different champion, who are the different trainer, and when we start to adopt a Copilot, when the company they start to adopt like the AI, they cannot adopt it for everybody, so they cannot provide it for all the users. That's why we always start by a small group. It's going to be a pilot group. So in this table, they will put only the name of the people, including this pilot group. So who will be the first starter with Copilot. Okay, so if I do a kind of summarizing here, as you see, so at the end of the engagement, we will collect user data with pre-built survey to understand how user cohorts they are using Copilot on their daily basis. Analyze user data and deliver Microsoft 365 Copilot value summary with business case to build their tour. Review the readiness and the adoption tabs in Copilot dashboard. But sure, we need to wait about 28 days. And together and with you, you can create an AI transformation roadmap. So one more time, just to keep in mind, we need to take 28 days for the Copilot dashboard to show the usage data. Let's go now to the next step. It's to go to deep dive on each phase. So we already talked about the pre-engagement. Just to give a kind of small reminder, what we have under the pre-engagement. So to invest time to familiarize yourself with the delivery guide and engagement kit content, determine the order of priority, Copilot vision and value, data security engagement, discussion with the customer, Microsoft account and team, schedule and facilitate the pre-engagement kickoff meeting. So many is a kind many thing under the checklist. I have a checklist here under the pre-engagement, and we can check it, and maybe we can use many points from this. So I will go with the next one. Get ready. We already talked about to validate priority scenarios, training strategy, engagement strategy, to build early adopters and champion program, and establish success metric and monitoring. Now let's go to the second one, to onboard, how to onboard and engage. One more time, so I have a checklist here. Maybe we talked of some of them, but not all of them. So provide a technical remediation support for item identified in the Copilot organization assessment, assess privacy and oversharing concern, roll out Copilot and provide onboarding assistance in case we need it. So as you see, I have many checklists, but the most important from this here, it's to deliver BERT agent and Microsoft Copilot Analytic overview, to implement Copilot dashboard and configure necessary permission in case to who need this kind of permission. And if we need to put it like, maybe we can add it to the lead training or other persons. Configure Copilot dashboard and advanced Copilot reporting, build aging, train early adopters, so train the trainer, deliver Copilot immersion experience, build the center of excellence to support Copilot champion. And maybe I have something to tell you about the excellence, like in the next few slides. And in the week number 2, so we can, this one is going to be optional, but we can run some data security for Copilot activity, the DCPM for AI data risk assessment with Copilot, Microsoft, Microsoft Purview, and activate the pre-configured policies in DSM for AI. Okay, so we already talked about the different checklists, but here just to give you like a more details about it, because all these checklists you can find it on Microsoft website. So if organization they have, for example, issue with technical remediation support, they can go there and they can check it. And as you see, we have a preparation for this and delivery and summary, so they are able to check it on Microsoft website. Address oversharing concern and Microsoft 365 Copilot deployment blueprint, SharePoint Advanced Management. And it's very important, guys, that you talked about Copilot agent, because now many people, they are asking about how to perform or how to improve SharePoint management with Copilot agent. And it's something that you can suggest it to your client. We already mentioned Microsoft Purview, but as you can see here, about everything related to Copilot security, we need absolutely Microsoft Purview. So you need to mention it to your client too. And I have many screenshots that I added here. So to data loss prevention, create policy simulation, and screenshot of the same policy listed in the Microsoft Purview policies. So all this you can find it on the Microsoft SharePoint, the Microsoft website, and you can check for more details. Data security for Copilot, so presentation, data security for Copilot demonstration, and Copilot analytic overview and deployment. And this one, it's very important to check it because company, they are able to check their, so they can measure the AI impact on their business, as you see, and connecting to Copilot dashboard for the 365 customers. Okay, let's talk a little bit about about to build a center of excellence. Just to let you know that here in this slide, so we are focusing on building a center of excellence for Microsoft Copilot to improve how this center or how this center of excellence can centralize governance and maximize the potential of AI within the organization. So here it's discussing about the objective of deploying this center and the preparation required to ensure its success, including the familiarization with Microsoft guidance. So the center is very important because it's going to be like the to train the trainer, especially when we are talking about the champion. So if I go to the next slide, you can see that it's going to be like at the center, especially to train the early adopters and the early champion. And the champion, they are here to coach the users, to coach end users, and maybe to answer to the question, to deliver them like a training session, to coach them, to answer to their question when they have question, and even to build many deck for them in case they need it. Okay, so we talked about to build agent overview and build HR scenario, IT scenario, customer service scenario, and sales scenario. We have marketing scenario 2. So let's go now to the next phase to deliver the impact. Under this phase, it's going to be special about the champion. So here it's the work of the champion to learn how to prompt session to continue adoption of Copilot scenarios. And okay, and to get some feedback. So this feedback, it can be from the champion people, and from the end user. To prepare the executive readout, to schedule and conduct the executive readout report and recommendation, and at the end to facilitate regular champion engagement session and discussion and the champion team channel to provide ongoing education, answer to questions, gather feedback, and share success stories. Okay, so now let's go to the final phase. It's going to be to extend and optimize. And I can tell you this one, it's optional because this one, it depends on every company. So we talked a little bit about Copilot Studio and about how to build agents. So just to let you know that under this phase is to find a way to enjoy like or to have a maximum profit from the Copilot. So as you see, under this phase, we need to design and to build and publish a customer Copilot agent. So we need to raise adoption of Copilot by extending Copilot into line of business application. Ensure we need absolutely Copilot Studio so to build this kind of agent. Deployment and configuration of Copilot sales in case we are working with sales, and deployment and configuration of Copilot for services. So to install and configure Copilot for service solution and then enable a usage by salesperson. This one is very important. So to improve your business and to cut some cost and to accelerate your productivity. Okay, so here I just finished with the different phases. I add some resources. As you see, this is the different phases. So to your client, for adoption Copilot, I add on this slide different links for Copilot Learning Hub and Microsoft Adoption in case you will use it and you present it to your client, especially to Microsoft Fast Track, for example. Even I add like many others. As you see, under every phases, we can find how to get started with Copilot, how to get ready for Microsoft 365 Copilot, how to prepare your organization for Copilot, for example. I have many courses, many videos, and to deliver the impact. This one is special for the champion. So the champion, they can find many courses here, many articles, and many documentation. And the last one, which about Copilot Studio. So guys, if you didn't get your course yet, or maybe if you are interested to get some information about how to use Copilot Studio and how to build the agent, so I will invite you to go to this link and to check these courses. Okay, one more slide about resources, but I already put it there. So this one is special for Microsoft Adoption Hub, the Microsoft Learning, the Microsoft Support. Okay, so I will invite you maybe to take this HR code, as you see this QR code, I mean, to be a partner of our IT cloud community. In case you have any question, just to let you know that you can now go to our Viva Engage and ask your questions, and we will have the pleasure to answer to your question. And everything related to our newsletter, like a webinar or training, you can find it on this QR code. So I will invite you to take it. And you can find all our recording of a webinar or training or Copilot Friday on our YouTube channel with this QR code. Thank you to be here today. If you have a question, let me know. And so it's time of question now. I can see that Jeffrey is asking if he can get the slide deck. Yes, I will send it to everybody today by end of day for French session and English session. Any other question, maybe? No question? Okay, so if no question, thank you to be here today, and I will see you on the next webinar. Just to let you know, tomorrow we have a training session, so it's going to be a pleasure for us if you come on our training session, and it's going to be like a comparative between Copilot and Copilot Chat. Thank you. Have a good day.